Hey Soul Tribe, welcome. We are here today to discuss the last full moon of 2020. It is a full moon in the sign of Cancer, a very inner feeling. It is in its home sign. Cancer was ruled by the moon, so this means it's a very powerful, intense energy. And it's being illuminated by the sun in Capricorn. And we've been having a lot of aspects through 2020 that were highlighting that Capricorn energy with the Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto that were all in Capricorn. We did have Jupiter and Saturn now move into Aquarius, but Pluto is still there. So this sun is illuminating that beautiful moon, giving it that reflection. And so we really have the energy of like the father figure, and then the feminine energy of the Cancer, of the mother. And it's not only that, it's the energy of being inner and feeling what it is that brings us comfort, a lot of inner reflection, just like the sun's reflecting on the moon, creating this opportunity for us to reflect, and probably going to be quite emotional. I know for me, I did a couple videos earlier and really felt called to just climb into my warm, cozy bed. That's another thing from Cancer, is the cozy comforts. It's the warm bath with a candle lit. It is whatever it is that feels good on our inner world. It's a deep feeling and intuitive. This can create an energy with it being in a square with Chiron. Chiron being the wounded healer of reflecting upon possible parental things of childhood. This also, because Saturn rules Capricorn, can have us reflecting upon the things that we've learned and the lessons that we've learned through 2020, having a little bit of compassion and nourishment for ourselves at this time with this illumination of the full moon in Cancer, bringing about a really inner strong feelings coming up. I know for me last night I didn't sleep much at all. That's probably why I took a nap today. But I just want to ask you to really nurture your inner child at this time. You could be having, like I said, it can be the father figure or even the mother figure coming up, maybe facing inner childhood wounds that could be as simple as, perhaps maybe we put on the faces and played out the roles that what our parents wanted us to be, and now we're really reflecting on that and going, no, that's not really me, and I'm gonna go forward on my path of really nurturing yourself and having a calling to do what it is that brings you comfort, to what that brings you joy. And so it's happening at the late degrees of 8 degrees of Cancer. And so many astrologers I learned from say to round it up to 9 degrees. So what I'm going to do is read first the Sabian Symbol. And this Sabian Symbol book is by Diane E. Roche. I've been sharing it here on my channel. So we have this father figure of the sun and the archetype of structure, our vitality, illuminating that receptive, feminine, very inner feelings, inner emotions, intuition of the Cancer. So it's really kind of powerful with it being illuminated and also it being in its home sign for the last full moon of 2020. So the 9 degrees of Cancer, a tiny nude miss reaching in the water for a fish. The key word here is inclination. So the theme for this 9 degrees of Cancer is beginner's luck. This symbol speaks to the first innocent outreach of an individual into a new experience and to the importance of trying. The image of a tiny nude miss Reaching in the water for a fish dramatizes naive curiosity and a complete absence of fear and inhibitions that lead to failure. It also alludes to an alertness to opportunity. On a practical level, this symbol describes the principle of beginner's luck as it is played out when an individual jumps into a situation on a whim, and with little or no knowledge of the rules or procedures comes out a winner. On the positive side of this is at its highest, this symbol represents irresistible charm and spontaneity. On the lower aspect of this, it can create rash behavior or lack of discretion. So you think about it with the lunar cycles and it being this culmination, because the full moons are a culmination, expanded, so we could be feeling expanded emotions on parental roles of the structures with all of these, quote, forced lockdowns. Lockdown is a term for prison. And so it's crazy I can't even go down the rabbit hole of what's really happening right now, but I hope you're awake to it. This is really wanting us to take a leap of faith on ourselves. So the ascent is an experimentation and a reaching out. Curiosity may get the best of you today and cause you to try something new. The opportunity at this full moon is your greatest advantage lies in taking a chance. Think positively. That's another thing too. Stay out of the fear mode. Black Moon Lilith. Oh crap! I didn't put her on the chart. She didn't print out in the chart, but that was something that came up within me. Is to stay out of the fear at this time, at this culmination of this full moon. We're already in it. I'm just coming to you a day early. I wanted to get this up earlier, but we have to flip the script and think positive at this time, because we are really planting a seed at this. It's, even though it's a culmination, we're having this ending of 2020 going into a whole new territory. So stay optimistic as you can. I know on the lower aspect of Capricorn, with the sun being illuminated there, it can be depression. And so if you feel that stuff come up within you, I know many people have struggled through 2020. Take a few centering breaths, and that would where the Cancer energy being in a full moon would come into radical self-care. Nurture yourselves. Water sign, Cancer being a water sign, take a bath. Drink lots of water as well. I'm noticing I'm super thirsty right now too. So let me hear. I digress because it just comes through to me to share. So the opportunity with this full moon is your greatest advantage lies in taking a chance. Think positive. The way to begin is to begin. So don't. A lot of times we become our own worst critics, and we, out of fear, don't try new things. As you know, we're in huge changes, so this is an opportunity now for us to maybe break free from the lineage, the family lineage. That's coming up a lot. I've been listening to other light workers talk about it as well, as that this year has been very pivotal for us to stop bringing in repeated cycles of karma from family lineage and family lineage, souls incarnating with each other lifetime after lifetime. And this is a huge lifetime to get it straight. And for some of us, that's breaking free of old tradition. That is on the collective of those who want to control. You see it with the forcing people into lockdown, which if you're doing it out of fear, that's not the way to do it. It's not what it all seems to be, obviously. So, but if you're changing family tradition because your heart's guided you to do that, then go you, because I know it's definitely changed for me. So guard against telling yourself all the reasons why something won't work out and you can't succeed. Don't let fear stop you from enjoying yourself. The learning stones, so basically the stepping stones with this culmination of the full moon in Cancer, is beginner's luck, new experiences, expectations, effort, curiosity, alertness, spontaneity, enthusiasm, impulsiveness, and disposition. So that's another thing too that's coming up a lot with this little, the inner child and the mother figure in the Cancer full moon with the structure is doing your inner child work. And I drew 2 cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and the first one, which didn't surprise me at all, Spirit amazes me, is card number 7, the child. This can be a time of inner reflection, like I said prior, about inner reflection about childhood things. Maybe these wounds coming up because it is squaring Chiron. It could be from this life, past lives. I say that many times on my channel because people realize, once you realize that we can bring old patterns from other lifetimes, and like I said, souls have incarnated lifetime after lifetime, playing different roles, playing out the roles in the movie, not doing their work. Here we come back in again, and this, oops, I'm sorry, I was sitting with my leg up. And this lifetime is really the time to get it right and to learn the lessons with that Sun in Capricorn type of energy, right? Because Saturn's the great teacher. It's karma. It's also sometimes very difficult. And I think for many of us on this collective level in 2020, we're realizing what really matters. And once you realize that and let go and do your work and face your shadow work and nurture your inner child, you can have a whole new playfulness about you. It's like putting on a fresh new pair of glasses and having different perspectives. And many times when you wake up, it can be brutal. And I see that we're witnessing that on a collective, you know. The old structures are falling and people are like, holy shit, what's going on? And that's the perfect time for you to go into your inner self. And, you know, Cancer is about home. Cancer is about family. Cancer is about, it's really the feminine nurturing aspect, whether it be a blood mother that you've had to work through things with. But it's really a calling at this time to face that inner child. And with it in a square with Chiron in Aries, which is self, the I am, overcoming those things and transforming and giving yourself a new perspective and almost having like a childlike perspective. You know, Yeshua said this to go and be childlike. So this is the prime example of that. So what is it that you need to do to nurture your inner child and then bring about a new playfulness within yourself? And then you take that into the world. So many of us are learning that. We have the 2 planets, Saturn and Jupiter, now in Aquarius. And a lot of this purging of 2020 has been, you know, wait a minute. This is not in resonance with me. I'm just not following the narrative. I'm gonna go inner. And that's where the Cancer energy comes up too. The home, not just the physical home, but it can be right now, of just staying home and staying inner, doing your inner work, doing your shadow work, so that you can go about life as a co-creator, having a new perspective, a childlike mindset. So that goes beautifully with this full moon in Cancer. It also goes beautiful with the energy of Cancer being the home, the nurturing, the Cancer being the mother, the Saturn Capricorn being the father. Capricorn is also the outer world and the doing, the masculine. Cancer's the inner, receptive, feminine energy. So it's really a perfect time to do your work. And if you're not on the path yet, you still have opportunity to jump on it. Ironically, we got 8. We got 7 and 8. I gave them a great shuffle too. And we got the circle. So to me, this is talking about the patterns that we've lifetime after lifetime incarnated souls did, you know, learning lessons. And this one is to get it straight on what the family function is to you. This is so that you can nurture your inner child and bring forth your authentic self. It may be a whole complete new you. And that's where it is to have that beginner's mind of, like it said with the 9-degree Sabian symbol, of not being scared and not to be held back by fear of failure, to really allow your heart to drive you forward. And then again with this circle energy, it's time to break the cycles, but at the same time having an understanding of this continuum, and 8 being an infinity number, and also very symbolic of the circle, is still in your heart space having an understanding that we're all connected, and that right now might not be the time where you want to follow the masses, and you really want to go into your inner world. All of 2020 has been this way since like at least March, when we had the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Pluto was in there too, and it's really been wanting us to do our inner work. And if we want to look at this whole CV thing that's happened in our world on a higher beneficial side of that, we can look at the lessons of many of us were forced to slow down and inner reflect and reevaluate. We had a lot of planets retrograde. We still have Uranus retrograde until the 1st or 2nd week of January, I do believe. And so we have a lot of forward momentum right now, even though we're still being asked to go inner. And when we do this, it's also a prime example to not only go, wow, I made it. I learned so much in 2020. I learned a lot of things that I don't want to be, but to still have a level of compassion and empathy for others, because it has been so intense. I'm not to saying that to say enable certain people's behaviors, but the majority of the population wants peace and a oneness and a unity consciousness, and that is what the age of Aquarius, at the beginning steps of going into that is having an understanding that we are all connected. And I talk about it often on my channel, about doing our shadow work so that we can bring forth the best authentic version of ourselves, and at the same time doing healthy boundaries of sometimes you need to say goodbye to things or people or places that are no longer in resonance with who you are, coming into your authentic self again. We start out that way as children, and then we accumulate other people's belief systems. We try to live up to other people's expectations, and I finally had the realization that, it took me 40 years to realize that you can't please everybody, and that you should only live up to your own desires and passions, and people will come and go, but those that are authentic in your resonance and your frequency will stay. You'll get new people in your life, and always be thankful for the lessons and the experiences, not to condone shitty behavior of whether it be yourself or others. So a lot of Saturn energy all year has been about the hard lessons, and it's not been easy. And so we are now towards the end of this year with this full moon in Cancer, so really nurture yourselves. Stay home, stay inner, cuddle up with your warm blanket, take a beautiful bath, and really allow any of the intense emotions and feelings come up and rise up within you. That could be quite possible with it being the moon in its home sign, and also it being that very inner emotional feeling, deep feeling, beautiful Cancer energy. So don't fear going into those deep feelings and emotions. Really do feel them, and that's how I say you can heal them. I'm going to pull another card from my Moonology Oracle, so I always surround myself with divine white light. I know it's a beautiful moon out there. It's been kind of cloudy here and it's super cold, but I went out earlier and I could see it, and then the clouds moved in. But whether you see it or not, we feel it. These lunar cycles are there for us to kind of the waxing, waning, the new moon, the full moon, to ebb and flow with the cycles. For me in the northern hemisphere, it's winter, of course, because it's Capricorn season. So the winter months and living with the seasons as well. A winter time is a time of inner and home and hearth and warm fires and cozy blankets and inner reflection. And we come along with spring of when we are getting some vitality and the new buds are growing on the trees. You see all the wildlife starting to get more lively. Winter is a more stillness, quiet season. And it's a great time, if you're not already on your path, to face those perhaps family origin, I don't want to say issues. Reflect on things. And what doesn't resonate with you may need, some shifting and changing. A time for healing. And that it is, like I said, an inner time. A time of self-reflection. A time to listen to your body. If it tells you to nap, take a nap. And release. Don't forget to breathe. A lot of times, because this year has been so intense, a lot of us take shallow breaths when we're stressed out and feeling like we're busy, busy, busy. So make sure that you give yourself and nurture your time to take a deep breath in. Visualize exhaling anything that's, stress, tension. Definitely the time for healing. What else for the full moon in Cancer? Allow yourself to feel the deep feelings and emotions that rise within you. Adjustments are required. We all have to assimilate, recalculate. We need to check in with ourselves every day. Check in with your feelings. Check in with your first gut instinct. Check in with your own body and allow that innate intuition, your spirit, your soul, to guide you on what you need to do every day. Make the adjustments. Flow with the moon cycles. Even if you don't know what they are, your body will tell you. Listen to that and do whatever it is and adjust accordingly. We don't want to become so fixed in patterns and cycles that we're unconscious of what we are doing. So be mindful. Love that. One more from this, and then I'm going to draw one from my new Queen of Moon Oracle as well. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. The reality of it is that we have all had to adjust and make adjustments through 2020. Are we trying to resist? Or are we really getting in tune with, because this is Taurus, ruled by Venus, that is our values, that is love, that is monetary as well. This is beauty. So planting a seed as well, with us transitioning from 2020 into 2021, of what it is that you may want to envision for yourself and make those adjustments. Start by writing, by journaling. That's beautiful. Love it. Uranus, the planet of quick changes, cosmic mind, innovation, is in the fixed sign of Taurus. And like I said earlier, it will be going direct. It'll finally be out of its retrograde. And so this can be quick awakenings for many people. I feel that too. If you're not awake yet in 2020 of what the dark energy of the world is programming people into fear and control. Uranus will be making some aspects, I do believe, with Jupiter throughout the month of January that can create an energy of quick, fast changes. It can be a quick awakening. It can be something come through to you through information that rocks your belief system. And so with Uranus being in Taurus, I also want you to reflect upon what it is, be the observer of it, of what you may need to do by making these adjustments so that you can plant the seed. You could be as simple as, you know what, I'm not following the narrative of the collective. I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to envision a peaceful world, a world where there's unity consciousness, to where humans wake up and see each other interconnected and not divided, separated, conquered by all the labels that the dark energies are trying to still use psychological warfare on people, you know? And having a remembrance within you that you're infinite. So we're going to draw one. This one is a brand new deck for me. I did an unboxing of it today. This is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. What is it for this full moon in Cancer that is going to inspire and encourage all those who tune in and listen? Thank you so much for being here with me. If you enjoy my energy updates, the cards that I come on and do, give my video a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber yet, I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel and hit the bell so that you can be notified when I put up new content. I don't think that healing, you know, we got this card here, I don't think it's ever done. Because if our soul wakes us up and we want to start evolving, we're constantly going through feelings and emotions, you know. Healing's not a one and done thing, ever. So it's just a matter of your soul, you know, just keep evolving and keep leveling yourself up. Oh, creation. And I'm going to read from this one. This is a brand new deck. We really do want to have a plan to our dreams. And how we do that with the creation energy. And I believe this Uranus energy coming in, like I said, the Uranus is the planet of awakening. It is the planet of uniqueness. It's the rebel. It's the ruler of Aquarius. We have a couple big guys, biggest planets in our solar system, now in the sign of Aquarius. So it's really a time we're like in this bridge energy of healing the way. Don't go by the narrative of mainstream and their new normal. Never accept their new normal. They want to program you on how to think, what to do, who you can gather with, and I would suggest being that rebel with the Uranus energy and having a broader, see, these are so glossy, I'm getting major glare. Having an understanding of our interconnectedness, the solar system. It cracks me up that religion demonized astrology when God created the universe, the stars, him herself. Like, right? It was all a control thing. But having this interconnectedness, knowing that we're part of a bigger picture, that we are creation ourselves, being able to tap into your intuition and your cosmic mind and thinking, and really setting the plan for yourself, knowing that you're a co-creator. I love that. Let's read it though. 39. The Beaver Moon. You know, she's got these, are they maps? I don't know if they're maps or what. Let's read it. I love it. I just started working with these. They're fabulous. You can create your own destiny. Be industrious. Every creature on earth creates. You should welcome the process of creation. Save money and time. Have a reserve. I am mighty creator. It is my birthright to create. That's right. Damn right. That's why I say don't go by their narrative, create your own, because they're trying to tell you what to think, who to be. You need to be you. You need to be you and have an understanding that you are so much bigger than you've ever possibly been, told. Or, I don't want to say told. You go inner with this full moon in Cancer and you'll tap into this cosmicness of creation itself. There's a good reason for the saying, busy as a beaver, for the beaver is truly an industrious animal. Not only do they create sophisticated architectural lodges, but they change the course of rivers and waterways through strategic damming. They create new environments for themselves and other animals. Like the beaver, we can too create with industrious and vigor. Everyone is creative, not just those who are considered to be creative, such as artists, designers, musicians, writers. We are all can be encouraged to think more creatively, and we're all going to need to do that too, guys. To solve problems outside of square solutions, to invent new ways and imaginatively breaking new trails. I would say blazing new trails, personally. This moon is the moon of taking action. Our northern hemisphere ancestors at this time would be preparing for winter. They would be preserving food, preparing skins, gathering medicines, strengthening their homes if they were not nomadic, and preparing to move to better hunting grounds if they were. Anyone who didn't work hard at this time would likely suffer greatly for it when winter came. Wow, is that perfect for right now? What I talked about with the getting in the moon cycles and the rhythms of our seasons even. It is time to take an action now. That is the perfect message for right now. Again, this don't just go for the people that are in the northern hemisphere. We're all creators, and I think that with the messages today, with this full moon in Cancer, inner reflection, home and hearth, nurturing, but also reflecting upon the things we've overcame. All of us deserve to pamper ourselves after 2020, and it isn't slowing down, at least for the first few months of 2021, guys. So do your inner work, do your shadow work, but also nurture your inner child. If you were not loved the way you feel you needed to be loved when you were little, love yourself. Bring forth your authentic new set of eyes. We do not have to be anything but true to ourselves. And you do not have to live up to other people's expectations. Live up to yours. What did I do? Drop one? My circle card I must have flung on the floor. So this is a time for healing and inner. Even if you're not in the northern hemisphere, you have a role to play in this of balancing the dark and the light as well in the southern hemisphere. It is still the same moon. We're all under the same moon and the same sun. So it's still a time for healing. Make the adjustments. Set an intention. Oh, I didn't drop it. Set your intention now. And also reflect on all of the things that you've learned. With this being a full moon, a culmination and a highlight. The sun reflecting over onto the moon, causing the beautiful shimmer. You can always go with, this keeps coming up to me, an attitude of gratitude. So make the adjustments within you, because what we see, we create. It's crazy to believe that as a collective, we were asleep at the wheel for so freaking long that these few handful of people were doing shady shit and wanting to control the rest of us, and we were all asleep, saying nothing, doing nothing about it. Comfortably going about our busy lives, working our asses off to only fit a few at the top. And I do believe as we go into the age of Aquarius, it will be shifting and changing. Also, the lower aspect, as I said, with Capricorn is depression. So make sure you nurture that inner child within you and allow your feelings to rise and feel them. It's okay. It's okay. Release any fear that you may have of failure. You're not a failure. Your light is needed. We're all connected. And because we will, for the first, all through January, still, and probably in first 6 months, I would say, of 2021, going to see people that are wanting to cling on to the old ways of how we were doing things, unaware, not having any care in the world for other people. You're going to witness still people lashing out and acting out. But you do you. You do you. Still in your heart space, have empathy and compassion, because we are all meant to be here at this time, going through and transforming and evolving the things that we are, even the frickin' villains in the movie. So remember that you are creation itself. And I think that's a lot of the things that we're going to be healing too, is all of these darker force energies that were just so many boxes they put us in. It's time to free our minds. And that is what we are, is creation itself. We're co-creators. We are sparks of God. We are sparks of the universe. We have stardust within us. And so really keep going forward and making the adjustments that you need. And we will do one more from my new I Am Affirmations. And then we will wrap this up. Thanks for being here with me. Give it a like. Hope you enjoyed what I shared. I hope it encourages you and uplifts you. I am an overcomer myself. And I do listen to my body. There's days that I just weep still, and I just allow it to rise. I don't ignore it, and I do not snuff it down. I've broke karmic patterns. I believe I'm a lineage holder in my family to have stopped that karmic cycle of souls incarnating, playing different roles with each other. What is our I Am affirmation at the full moon in Cancer? I am. I am that I am. I am creation. You become the I am the moment you incarnate. Aries, first sign of the zodiac. Fire, creation. Let's do another one. I love these. I just received these, so positive affirmations are life-changing for anybody that's being overcoming and facing their shadows. It's a beautiful way to reprogram yourself of love, and so never underestimate, because we are co-creators, and what we speak to ourselves is so very important. I am that I am. I am aligned with the universe. When we become aligned with the universe, getting back inner child work, shadow work, finding our passion, what it is that we want to do, what brings us joy, what gives us the childlike wonder. You're either for me or against me, and you can blaze that path. When you get in universal alignment is when God starts speaking to you in most magical ways through synchronicities and signs. I love that. I hope that you enjoyed this. Remember that you are I am that I am. And that you will get aligned with the universe. You'll start seeing the synchronicities of what you're wanting to co-create. And lastly, make sure that you have a plan. It starts with an idea. And it usually, no, it don't usually, it's always comes from your heart. What makes you tick. Allow the truth of your heart to guide you, and you can't go wrong. I hope this resonates with you. I hope it encourages you. Remember to embrace your feelings, and I send you so much love and so many blessings. Shalom.